long ago, in the land of Angola, there was a village where the water in the well was so sweet that everyone wanted to drink it. Even the sky god and his family, the moon lady and the sky maiden, who lived in heaven. And so, every morning, Spider would spin a web. And the water carriers would travel down the web with their buckets from heaven down to earth, to the well in that village. And as they went, they sang, "Oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo." When they reached the well, they would dip their buckets in, and then they would travel back along the web to heaven. Good day to you, my brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, my sisters. Good day to you. Now, in this same village, where the water in the well was so sweet, there lived a handsome young man named Kamana.
I am Kamana, man of Earth.
Now, Kamana had a problem. What's your problem, Kamana? You've seen somebody beautiful, right? Who is it? He fell in love with the sky maiden. The problem was, she was in heaven and he was on earth. How could they ever get together? How could he ever ask her father, the sky god, for permission to marry her? Well, then he came up with an idea.
I should write a letter.
And so he did. And the letter said,
I am Kamana, man of Earth. To marry your daughter, your permission.
and he folded the letter up and thought about how we would get the letter up to heaven. Could you take the letter, Kamana?
No, I don't go up to heaven.
But someone else might be able to help.
Rabbit, would you take the letter up to heaven?
I can't go to heaven.
Elephant, would you take the letter up to heaven?
I can't go to him.
Now near the well lived Frog, and so Kamana spoke to him.
Frog, would you take the letter up to heaven?
I could do it, but only if I tried.
So Kamana gave the letter to Frog, and Frog popped it in his mouth. He went back and waited by the well until the next morning. Spider spun the web, and the water carriers traveled down to earth. Oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo, oh, Desayo. Good day to you, my brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, my sisters. Good day to you. When the water carriers had filled their buckets, Frog hopped into one of the full buckets and rode back to heaven with the water carriers. Good day to you, brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, my sisters. Good day to you. When they reached heaven, the water carriers set their full buckets down near a bench in a room in the sky god's house. Frog hopped out of the bucket and spit the letter out onto the bench.
But Chewie.
And then he hid behind the bench. Soon, the sky god came to get the water for his family.
What is the winter doing there?
The sky god thought, maybe I should read it. So he picked it up and
I
unfolded.
am Kumar. Man of do I have permission to marry your daughter?
Who had written this letter? How did it get here? He thought. So he went to find out.
What was there? Did you bring the letter?
No,
bring this letter, but I will marry him if he pays the bride's price.
Now in Africa, if a young man wanted to marry a young woman, he had to pay for her, often with gold. So the sky god wrote a letter.
I marry you down if I pay the blood.
So he folded the letter up and he put it on the bench. The next morning, when Spider spun his web and the water carriers got ready to travel down the web with their buckets, Frog hopped into one of the empty buckets and traveled down to earth with the water carriers. Good day to you, my brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, sisters. Good day to you. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. When they reached the well, Frog hopped out and went to speak to Kamana. He spit the letter out and Kamana read it.
If you marry my daughter, fetch her with gold.
Kamana had gold. That wasn't the problem. But how could he get the gold to heaven?
Rabbit, would you take the gold up to heaven?
I can't go to heaven.
Elephant, would you take the gold up to heaven?
I can't go to heaven.
Frog, would you take the gold up to heaven?
I could do it, but only if I tried.
So Frog took the gold and popped it into his mouth. And then he hopped back to the well, where the water carriers had filled their buckets. Now Frog hopped into one of the full buckets and rode back to heaven with the water carriers. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Good day to you, my brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, my sisters. Good day to you. When they reached heaven, the water carriers set their buckets down and Frog hopped out. Then he spit the gold out onto the bench
Achoo.
and waited behind the bench. Now soon Sky God came to get the water for his family.
What's that gold doing there?
And how did it get there?
What the hell did you bring the gold?
No, did not.
Moon, did you bring the gold?
No, I did not bring the gold. You better ask your daughter.
Donna, did you bring the gold?
No, I did not bring the gold, but I'll marry him if he brings the bride's price. If he comes to fetch me.
The gold had been paid, and the Sky Maiden was willing to marry Kamana. But she expected him to come to heaven and get her. So the Sky God wrote the letter that said,
May I marry you? Huh? You may marry my daughter. If I come in with me.
and he folded the letter up and set it on the bench. Frog came out from behind the bench and popped the letter into his mouth. The next morning, when Spider spun the web, the water carriers got ready to go down to earth again. Frog hopped into one of the empty buckets and rode down to earth with the water carrier. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. Oh, Dennis, I know. When they reached the well, the water carriers filled their buckets. Frog hopped out and went to see Kamana. He spit the letter out and Kamana read it.
If you marry my daughter, come and fetch her. Where can I go to heaven and fetch her?
Yeah.
Well, would you go to heaven and fetch her for me?
I could do it, but only if I tried.
So Frog hopped back to the well where the water carriers had filled their buckets. Frog hopped into one of the full buckets and rode back to heaven with the water carriers. Good day to you, brothers. Good day to you. Good day to you, sisters. Good day to you. Oh, dear Zion. Oh, dear Zion. Oh, dear Zion. Oh, dear Zion. The water carriers put the full buckets down and Frog hopped out. And then he spit into each bucket.
Patchouli, patchouli, patchouli.
Well, when the sky god came to get the water, his family came with him, and they each picked up a bucket, expecting that sweet, delicious water as usual. But when they took a sip,
My stomach hurts.
I feel
it
terrible.
tasted terrible. It made them sick. How could this have happened?
Simon, Bible, why made you sick?
The evil spirits came and made you sick because your dog hasn't been married.
Kimana had paid the bride price, but the bride had not come down to earth to marry him. Well, the Sky Maiden agreed.
I'd come down to earth and get you.
The Sky Maiden agreed that she would go down to earth and marry Kimana because he had paid the bride price. So the next morning, when Spider spun the web and the water carriers got ready to travel down the web to earth, the Sky Maiden was there to go with them. But before they could leave, out from behind the bench hopped a frog. The Sky Maiden was surprised.
A frog? A frog here in heaven? How could that be?
And then the Sky Maiden began to think about all the strange things that had been happening lately.
Frog, did you bring the letter?
Yes, I did.
Frog, did you bring the gold?
Yes, I did.
Frog, did you come to fetch me?
Yes.
Then it must be you that I married.
And so it was. Frog and the Sky Maiden were married. And they lived together happily in heaven for many years.
Oh, no.
While down on earth, poor Kamana is still waiting for his bride. And that is the story of how Frog went to heaven. These very talented players are going to introduce themselves to you and tell you what part they played in our presentation. We'll start here on Earth.
I'm Matthew Day from Cookeville and I play Kamana.
I'm Bradley Stein, and my name
My name is Lisa Mason. I play the Sky Princess and I married a frog.
I'm Vicki Rollins and I played the Moon Lady.
I'm Michael Wood, and I play Sun God.
I'm Susan Zaspa and I played the Vice Lady.
Where don't we all rock? I can rock it.
My name is Greg Thomas.
My name's Scott Gates and I'm one of the water carriers. My name's Bill Webster. I played the spider.
My name is Ricky Caroline. I played the frog.
This is a team effort, and I would like our very talented staff to also introduce themselves. We'll start up here in heaven.
I'm Carol. I'm from Putnam County. My name's and I'm from White County. My name's Tish.
She's not gonna tell you.
I would also like to give credit to Johnson, who helped our individuals make these beautiful breastplates that they're wearing that help to represent the characters that they play. We also have Merritt Ireland, who is a visual artist for our project. So let's give Linda and Merritt a big And we also are very lucky to have with us this afternoon Wendy McCann, who has filmed the presentation this afternoon, and she's development director for Pace Setters. Close enough. She helps us get out into the community and show folks how very talented all these individuals are. So we appreciate her efforts too.
Oh, you saying she is the top boss?
No, she's not the top boss, but she's up there. She deserves that pretty high.
None of this would be possible without our storyteller, Marsha Donovan. So by the way, Vicki has a special gift for her. Go ahead, Vicki.
Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. That is so beautiful. Oh, thank you guys.
Marsha Donovan, everybody.
Bigger than I am. That's pretty good. If you have filled out an evaluation, if you would just leave it on your chair. If you haven't filled it out, please take a minute to do that. We try to make our presentations better every year, and we look very carefully at what you tell us. So tell us what you like, what you didn't like so much, what you'd like to see done differently. Any thoughts you have, we'll think about very carefully, and we thank you so much for letting us visit this afternoon.
Thank you guys. You guys did a wonderful job. Thank you.